Hello, check, check. Hello, check. Hello, check.
LCD কিমান আছে চাই ল'বি যদি তাতে 29 যদি 59 মান কিবা আছে তেতিয়া 29 মান ৰাখিব দিবি সেইটো যিমান কমালেও কথা নাই 29 মান ৰাখিব দিবি তাৰপিছত আধা খেলি থাকিব পাৰবি বুজি পাইছা হয় LCD 29 মান মই যাওঁ কমিছে না দাম পরে মাত্রা দিবা হ্যাঁ 29 দিবা দিবা তোটা বই থাকবে না 29 দিবা ওটা তো বাড়াই আছে এটা দিলে বুঝার আহি যায় আইলে ওবে 29 দিবা দিবা
A very good morning to all of you. I request all the students who are loitering outside to come inside the hall. Please occupy the seat. Those who are outside, please occupy the seat. Once again, a very good morning to all the ladies and gentlemen present here. I once again welcome all our esteemed guests, paper presenter, research scholar, students, all the team's member, and all other participants present here once again in our special session. Yesterday, we have already completed 3 sessions successfully, and we have got to learn many things from our esteemed guests. Today also, we are hoping that this session will be a very colorful and successful one. We are hoping to learn many things from our invited guests. I am privileged, we are privileged, and we are very happy to have Professor Devi Santarika sir, Professor of Asian Studies, Asian Center, University of Philippines, as a chairperson for today's special session. I request sir to occupy the seat in the dais. We are honored to have Professor Ratul Mohanto sir, Professor and Head, Department of Economics, Guwahati University, and Professor Wadud sir, Department of Economics, Rasani University, Bangladesh, as an invited speaker. Thank you, sir, for occupying the seat. And at this time, I can offer this time to Chairperson Professor Devi Santarika sir to lead the session.
Thank you very much. A pleasant morning to all. So this is a continuation of the discussion with regards to the borderland territorial region in the light of the ACIS policy. Yesterday, we have a very rich discussion uh, talking about different facets and dimension of the relations. We talk about the India's engagement with Bangladesh, with Bhutan, I mean with Nepal, and of course with the Philippines, and of course the panel discussion yesterday afternoon. Now we're ready to listen to the discussion. I think we have to enrich this, and I'm sure you're excited. But I don't see that you're excited right now. Are you still sleeping? I'm sleeping. Yeah, but kidding aside, I think we have to start the discussion now. And we're fortunate that we have two gentlemen who's going to share to you the discussion on Bangladesh and India's relations. Uh, uh, Maybe I'll ask first the younger one to present. So I ask Prof. Abdul Wadud of the Department of Economics of Rajshahi University in Bangladesh to present his paper. So, Professor.
A very good morning to everybody. We all know that the theme of this technical session is India in the light of Act-East policy. I was invited and requested to talk on the trade between Bangladesh and India and consequences and impacts. Accordingly, I prepared this presentation. As you see that the title of the presentation is Practice Policy of India. How much can India and Bangladesh, among others, boost their trade and development? So just a little background between India and Bangladesh. We know that the Bangladesh and India are closest neighbors. The Bangladesh-India borders, first Bangladesh divisions of Bangladesh, Sylhet, Rajshahi, Rangpur, Chittagong, Khulna, and the Indian states. The international border between Bangladesh and India is world's fifth longest land border, carrying a 4,096 kilometer long border, including 2,217 kilometers in West Bengal, 262 kilometers in Assam, 856 kilometers in Tripura, 318 kilometers in Mizoram, 443 kilometers in Meghalaya. So we can easily assume that the Bangladesh and India are the very closest neighbors. And Bangladesh, I think, is the country which is sharing the largest border with India. So both countries have been also sharing 23 land ports, which can play a pivotal role in achieving the goals from any policy like the Act-East policy. So Bangladesh-India relations also referred to as Bangladeshi-Bharat relation or Indo-Bangladesh relation are the bilateral. This is the map. You can see. You can see the Indian states around Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a small one. You can see West Bengal, then Meghalaya, then Assam, then Tripura, then Mizoram, then this is some of the map. Of course, Bangladesh is in India. So, as I told that Bangladesh India relations also referred to as Bangladesh Bharat relations or Indo Bangladesh relations are the bilateral relations between the peoples of Republic of Bangladesh and the Republic of India. Both of these are South Asian neighbors. Diplomatic relations between India and Bangladesh formally began in 1971 with India's recognition of an independent Bangladesh, which was formally known as East Pakistan. Bangladesh are the common members of SAARC, BIKF, IORA, and the Commonwealth. The two countries share many cultural ties, and in particular, Bangladesh and the East Indian states of West Bengal are Bengali speaking. In 1971, when the Bangladesh revolution was brought out between East Pakistan and West Pakistan, India intervened in December 1917 in Sakobat, East Pakistan, and helped secure its independence from Pakistan and the country of Bangladesh. And since the visit of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bangladesh in 2015 and the round-back visit of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India in 2017, the notable developments happened, including the resolution of non-pending land and maritime boundaries, asserting the issue of enclave, the resolution of over 90 instruments comprising the high-tech areas like electronics, cyber security, space information technology, and civil nuclear energy. Let us now have a brief overview on the
Northeast and Axis policy before going to the trade between India and Bangladesh. So as you know that from our discussion, from our yesterday's discussion, so that the Northeast policy has been initiated in 1991 during the government of Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, and only pursued by the consecutive governments of Atul Bihari Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh. And it was a strategical squeeze in the perspective of India. Shifting from Northeast to Northeast, Axis policy is a diplomatic advance to promote economic, strategic, cultural connection with the Asia-Pacific region. The Axis policy is considered as the new version or new edition of the Northeast policy. And the East Asia Summit held in Myanmar in November 2014, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced this Axis policy. This is initiative on supports this Sarkar towards connectivity and capacity building. However, security for all and growth for all. What is on the decision of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Now, the question is that how much benefits both India and Bangladesh can receive from the adoption and implementation of the policy. So this topic is trying to explore how much Bangladesh and India gains various agreements and results, among others, from the perspective of its practice policy. So here again, as I told them, a little overview of the Buddhist and practice policy. When this Buddhist policy was initiated, Indian economy was not so better. The fragile economic situation was prevailing because of the 1991 economic crisis when this policy was initiated. And they wanted a transition phase to a liberalized economy. But when this policy was taken, the economic situation was unfavorable, and the um, breakdown of the Soviet Union led to the formation of the Lucas policy, because Indian economy was dependent on Russia a lot. Better scope for economic growth was pursued by India in the region, and China and Japan had obtained economic progress. Geographical development, especially increasing the influence by China in the South China Sea, and as well as China's rising control in the Indian Ocean, led to the formulation of the Act East policy. Increasing economic cooperation was the main focus in the Northeast policy. But enhancing economic cooperation, building infrastructure for better connectivity, strategical and security ties was the main focus in the Act policy. The Lucas policy emphasized more on boosting relations on trade and investment with Southeast Asian region. Other countries in the region are not considered in this policy. Act policy extends the British policy to increase cooperation with Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Malaysia, Australia from better strategic and political perspectives. The objective was also to respond to the influence of China in the region. India and ASEAN have much cultural and historical relevance and ties, which was not considered to be utilized and capitalized. Gains from boosting cultural, historical, and linguistic and religious linkages to people contacts are considered the Act-East policy. The non this part of India was not about while initiating the policy and neglected in its plan of controlling deeper ties and with these Christian countries. But improvement in the northeast part has been emphasized. This freedom can be the easy way to the countries of Southeast Asia and the East Asian region. More focus had been given on building infrastructure in other nations in order to enhance cooperation in the Blue policy. But infrastructure development had been given emphasized. India and Japan are jointly making infrastructure in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. Defense cooperation has not been considered in the British policy, but defense cooperation has been given priority a lot in the Axis policy. So we can say that unlike the British policy, Axis policy is more proactive, action-oriented, project and outcome-based approach towards the result to foster links in all spheres like economic, strategic, political, security, environmental, and cultural dimensions. At this policy, less better emphasis on the connectivity programs that link India's northeast region with ASEAN countries. India's active policy allows strong connectivity with Japan's key and often Indo-Pacific and South Korea's new southern policy. All three recognize the centrality of the ASEAN region and the economic and strategic interests advanced in the Indo-Pacific and provide a greater opportunity for mutual cooperation. You can see the map here. These are the ASEAN countries, ASEAN countries. So, British policy of only consider these countries, but Lucas policy beyond the ASEAN countries, this policy, the Axis policy, covers many of the other countries as well. To enhance the capability of India through human resource development and facilitate to receive benefits from the window developed by the Axis policy, India has already initiated or already taken or already implementing many programs like Making India, Digital India, and Safe India. And we know that Bangladesh and India are close neighbors. So Bangladeshi corridor is very important or very crucial to the implementation or to achieve the gain from the Axis policy. This map shows the one of the corridor or one of the you can say that road to transport commodities and to go from one country to other country. So let us now look at the private areas. India, Bangladesh is important and crucial for the achievement of gains from the Axis policy. So potential to progress the economy of Northeast India is likely to depend on some priority areas. So these are some of the priority areas: transport network and connectivity, broadband network and connectivity, trade facilitation, and cultural ties. So let us now look first at transport network and connectivity. After 1947, businesses and traders need to pass 1600 kilometers from Agartala to Kolkata via Siliguri to reach Kolkata port. They instead reach the same destination passing about 600 kilometers to Bangladesh. They can even reach nearby port of Chittagong in Bangladesh, crossing about 200 kilometers. The operational relationship between Bangladesh and India can greatly reduce the distance and cost of transport between Northeast India and the rest of India. This can be done through implementation of various ongoing initiatives, such as transshipment of Indian goods through Bangladesh's Asubam port to Northeast India, expanding of rail links within Northeast India and between the two countries, the between Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal motor vehicles agreement, increased revenue obtained through the resultant decrease in the price of goods and services can help reduce poverty and improve consumer welfare in the Northeast. Cooperation between India and Bangladesh can also create the potentiality of connecting India with ASEAN countries via Myanmar and Bangladesh, can take the entry to Nepal and Bhutan via India, giving us connectivity to India. You can see the map, possible connectivity between India and Bangladesh. So, here are two, we have two ports, seaport, Bangla port and Chittagong port. You can easily see from the map that from India to Bangla port and to Chittagong port, commodities can be carried to Tripura, carried to Assam, and carried to Meghalaya. So this is the shortest way to transport commodities from India to the other, but the three, at least the three northeast states of India. India and Bangladesh for the first time signed transit agreement in 2010. Two countries signed also some MOU in 2015 about the use of Chittagong and Bangla ports. And through this port, as I told that the commodities can be transported using very or using low amount of spending low amount of money. So look at broadband network alternatives. We look at what's really near to the states of India. So from Oxford of Bangladesh, broadband connectivity of 10 Gbps is being supplied to Tripura and beyond to help increase the speed and reliability of internet connection or internet access in Northeast India. Bangladesh possesses more capacity to supply both internet capacity or internet access to the Tripura and other states. Now look at the trade facilitation. Bangladesh and India close neighbors, as you know, and partners of trade in South Asia, and both countries are the members of Asia Pacific Trade Agreement, are differential trade agreement, and the agreement on South Asia Free Trade Area with the active policy, bilateral and multilateral trade opportunities can further be explored and implemented. Therefore, the northeast states of India are landlocked and have fought a route to see through Bangladesh. Transit agreement between India and Bangladesh is likely to drive subsequent development and the integration of northeast India. Then cultural ties. So, from cultural viewpoint, India and Bangladesh have common heritage and shared history. Better people contact could boost economic and trade relations, especially near the border areas. Indian diaspora in various countries is likely to hold strong people-to-people relations, which in turn could enhance India's cultural civilizational linkages and hence help in boosting dividends amount, trade and improvement in economic and security dimensions. India remains the largest country of origin of international migrants with a 7.5 million strong diaspora across the globe. Now, let us talk about this is the main country, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, and Nepal. You can easily see from Calcutta, we can from Calcutta, we can easily transport we can easily carry goods through Dhaka, Sylhet to Shillong, Guwahati, Agartala. That means Assam, Meghalaya, we can easily transport goods. And we can also travel to Bhutan and Nepal through this being agreement. And using Chittagong airport also, we can transport goods and goods especially to the eastern part of the eastern states of India. So now energy cooperation with the initiatives of the Act East policy, Bangladesh would be prepared to act as the power corridor through which hydro corridor which hydro through hydro energy could be transmitted from Arunachal Pradesh to the other parts of India. This energy deal could have potential to trade hydropower among the wind countries to form a clean power market. India has already made a deal of export 600 megawatt of power to Bangladesh, and much more can be traded. Economic growth and hence development can be further improved through the implementation of the goals of the Act policy in general and enhancing economic cooperation relations between Bangladesh and India. As many as 22 agreements were signed between both countries during the visit of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bangladesh in June 2015. And as per the agreements, Reliance Power of India agreed to establish a 3,000 megawatt LNG-based power plant investing $3 billion US, and this is the single largest investment of India ever done in Bangladesh. Adani Power agreed to invest $1.5 billion to set up a 1,600 megawatt coal-fired power plant. Modi declared a line of credit of $2 billion to Bangladesh. India expects to export electricity to its eastern parts or eastern states to Bangladesh. And Bangladesh, in the same way, expects to have power corridor to reach the Bhutanese and Japanese markets for electricity trade. The 130-kilometer long Bangladesh India friendship pipeline will supply 4 lakh tons of diesel to Bangladesh has been inaugurated in 2018. A proposed agreement has been made to allow India to use Chittagong and Mangla seaports for transporting goods to and from landlocked northeastern states of India. Now, let us look at the investment status. India is expected to invest in Bangladesh at a national level. They are marking Indian economic zones in Bangladesh. Bangladeshi companies could have the potential of investing in northeastern part of India. Better investment and trade linkages can also help even regional value chains and help both Bangladesh and Northeast India access other Asian markets. A deal has been approved by Bangladesh with India for shipping commodities to a third country using each other's land and water routes, which eliminated barrier in regional trade. India will be able to trade with Myanmar through Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has urged with Indian businesses to make more investment in manufacturing, energy, transportation sectors, as well as its infrastructure projects during her visit to New Delhi in September 2022. CII President Rajiv Bajaj talked about infrastructure and energy, as well as the ways in which connectivity can be utilized to promote shared prosperity. But now, let us look at the trade between India and Bangladesh. On 6th December, Bangladesh and India celebrate Friendship Day, commemorating India's invasion of Bangladesh and the continued friendship between the two countries. This figure gives a comparison of trade between India and Bangladesh by product, considering products traded by both countries, India and Bangladesh. During 2020, you can see that that India had a large net trade with Bangladesh in the exports of textiles. It's about 2.08 billion US dollar. They exported textile, mineral products, and vegetable products. And during 2020 also, Bangladesh had a net trade with India in the export of textile, animal and vegetable byproducts and transportation. And this figure shows the product space of India and Bangladesh. And the visualization of this figure shows the product space like the HSS level colored from blue to yellow. This means that the more blue a product is or a dot is, the more India has comparative advantage over Bangladesh. If you look at the figure, then we can see the blue dots or near the blue dots or those are the products. And India has more advantage on the products. So from the diagram we can see that there are many competitors which have competitive advantage. India has got competitive advantage for exporting those products from India to Bangladesh. Similarly, we can look at the yellow dots of products. The more yellow a dot of product is, the more competitive, the more Bangladesh has competitive advantage over India. And if you look at the yellow dots, there are only few yellow dots. This always Bangladesh has competitive advantage to export commodities from Bangladesh to India. So we can easily assume, we can easily realize, or we can easily report or say that India has more competitive advantage to trade with Bangladesh. So in 2015, at the beginning of the AFTIS policy, India exports goods and services of 71 broad classifications or bundles to Bangladesh. India exports many commodities, but if we classify the commodities or if we make the bundle, then we can see that India exported only 71 bundles to Bangladesh, while in 2021, India has shown its ability of implementing the AFTIS policy through the enhancement of export bundles to 96 to Bangladesh. So they increased 71 to 96. Here we can see the top 10 products which India exported to Bangladesh. So in 2015, we can see that India exported these commodities, the top 10 commodities, and on the top of the list. And in 2015, the export value is 165 billion. And but in 2021, you can see that exporting cotton India are about 374 billion US dollar. Then if we come next, cereals, India exported about 592 million US dollar. But in 2021, you can see that it is more than 2 billion. It's about 2.32 billion US dollar. So, and if you look at the other products also, you can easily see that the export value has increased a lot. Okay, from this figure we can easily tell that the India is doing well. Perhaps
Mantu,
properly and India is implementing the practice policy properly to seek the gain from that trade, trade with India, trade with Bangladesh. Now look at the exports of Bangladesh to India during 2015 and 2021. So in the beginning of the India's tax policy in 2014, policy in Bangladesh export bundle was to India 196. However, in 2021, Bangladesh becomes able to send 86 export commodities bundles to India. So here, in this figure, from this figure, you can see that the export bundle has decreased. Bangladesh is not being able to send more commodities to India. So you classify the commodities, and if you make bundle, then you can see that the bundle has decreased from 96 to 86. So this perhaps indicates that India is actively playing to implement the objectives and goals of the policy and reap the benefits from its export trade. This does not indicate that Bangladesh is not receiving or Bangladesh is not progressing. Bangladesh is progressing, but perhaps India's progress is better than the Bangladesh progress. If you look at this table, we can see the top export items of Bangladesh to India. So here, in 2015, you can see that the vegetables, textile fibers, the export value was only 125.9 billion US dollar, but in 2021, it was 131.991 million. So little increase, not fast increase. And articles of apparel not need. You can see that in 2015 it was the export value was 81.13 million US dollar, and in 2021 it was 285.82 million US dollar. In the same way, we can find the export values of the commodities exported from Bangladesh to India. There are a little increase. Bangladesh is not losing. They are also earning. They are also making benefit, but the benefit, as I told, is lower than India's benefit. Here in this table, we can see that in 2020, India exported 7.91 billion US dollar to Bangladesh. On the other hand, in 2020, Bangladesh exported 1.01 billion to India. So you can find the difference between the export values of India and Bangladesh. And during the last 20 years, the export value of India to Bangladesh increased at an annualized rate of 8.46% from 1.04 billion in 1995 to 7.91 billion in 2020. So the increase is noticeable and remarkable, you can say. And on the other hand, during the last 25 years, the exports of Bangladesh to India have increased at an annualized rate of 10.2% from 88.5 billion in 1995 to 1.01 billion in 2020. Although the rate is higher here than India, but the growth amount is not so high. The rate is not so high, only 1.01 billion from 88.5 billion. So here from this figure, you can see that the total exports of India to Bangladesh. We can see that if we start from 2013, the total export was not increasing. So after 17, it starts increasing. In 2019, it decreased. 2020 also decreased. This is because of the effect of Corona. Some exports have been decreased, But if we look at 2021, and the export has gone up, and it is about 14 billion US dollar. So India has got remarkable progress in exporting goods and goods to Bangladesh. India's import from Bangladesh, right? Or on the other hand, we can say that the Bangladesh exports to India, we can say. So if we look here, then the Bangladesh exported very, small amount of commodity. If we start from 2013, we can see that the export value was very, we can say that in compared to India, it was very low. And fortunately, we in 2021, the export value was about, we can say that 1700 million US dollar. So Bangladesh is also progressing as I told. Let us now look at some of the trade statistics of India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh. So trade as percentage of GDP, in 2015 it was 41.92, and in 2021 it was 45.29. In case of Bangladesh, in 2015 it was 42.09, and in 2021 it was 27.72. So we can see that the trade as percentage of GDP in case of India it has increased, but in case of Bangladesh it has decreased. Trade in services as percentage of GDP. So in case of India, we can see that although in 2019 it was 12.19, but in 2021 it was 11.91, little decrease. But this is perhaps maybe because of the effect of or impact of COVID-19 or corona or like this. But in case of Bangladesh, you can see the continuous decrease. It was 5.61 in 2015, but it was 4.41 in 2021. So continuous decline and decrease is observed in case of Bangladesh. Current account balance as percentage of GDP, it is for both countries it is negative in 2021, but the negative amount is higher in Bangladesh than in India in 2021. Exports and goods and services, current US dollar, in terms of current US dollar, we can see that in India 2015 it was 428.63 billion US dollar, and in 2021 it was 643.08 billion US dollar. But in case of Bangladesh, you can see that it is in 2015 it was 34.97 billion US dollar, and in 2021 it is 49.39 billion US dollar. Imports and goods and services, current US dollar. So in 2021, in case of India, it was 491.88 billion US dollar, and in 2021, 717.12 billion US dollar. In case of Bangladesh, it is in 2015 45.58 billion US dollar, and it is in 2021 85.3 billion US dollar. So we can easily find the trade deficit between trade deficit of the two countries. So in 2015, trade deficit was 63.25 in India, and in 2021 it was 74.08 billion US dollar. In case of Bangladesh, in 2015 it was 10.61 billion US dollar, and in 2021 it was 35.91 billion US dollar. So we can see that in case of Bangladesh, the trade deficit is higher than the trade deficit of India. So exports of goods and services, we have as percentage of GDP, we can say here again. So in case of India, in 2015 it was 19.81, and in 2021 it was 51.41. But in case of Bangladesh, you can see that the in 2015 it was 17.34%, and in 2021 10.66%. So in Bangladesh it is continuously decreasing. So this is perhaps because of the impact of COVID-19 or COVID-19. In case of imports of goods and services, we can see that that in 2015, Indian the value is 22.11%, and in 2021 it was 23.89%, and in case of Bangladesh in 2015 it was 24.75%, and in 2021 it was 17.06%. So Bangladesh also imported lower or less amount of goods and services. In this figure or in this table, we can see some of the key economic indicators of India and Bangladesh. So, in case of GDP, so GDP current US dollar in billions. In India, in 2015, it was 22,103.59 billion US dollar, which was in 2021 3,176.3 billion US dollar. In case of Bangladesh, in 2015 it was 195.08 billion US dollar, and 2021 it was 416.26 billion US dollar. Here you can see that both countries has got some improvement in case of increasing their GDP. So GDP growth rate annual percentage, if you look at it, then you can see that in 2015 it was 8% in India, and in 2021 it was 8.68%. In case of Bangladesh, in 2015 it was 6.55, and 2021 6.94. Although in 2019 it was higher than that in 2021 in case of Bangladesh. So GDP per capita in India in 2015 it was 1,590 about US dollar, and in 2021 it is 2,256.59 US dollar. But in case of Bangladesh, we see that in 2015 it was 1,236.01 US dollar, but in 2021 it becomes 2,457.92 billion US dollar. So both countries have got improvement in achieving the implement in per capita GDP. And growth rate is also higher. You can see here GDP growth rate. Also there are some ups and downs because of perhaps COVID-19 or something, some of the reasons. Gross capital formation, here you can look, both countries have got some progress or some advancement in case of gross capital formation. Gross capital formation percent of GDP, both countries have achieved some progress. Also there are some ups and downs. Gross domestic saving, same thing, and gross domestic saving current billion US dollar. In case of India, it is in 2021 it is 930 billion US dollar. So India has got improvement or progress. Bangladesh has also got some progress or some improvement in per capita in gross domestic saving. I am at the end of my presentation. Now, go to the next slide. Now, some concluding remarks. So, in conclusion, we can say that Bangladesh and India are nearest and closest neighbors, sharing longer border boundary and having 23 land ports that have opened up the context of trade and development between them. The access policy through its objectives and causes spurs the advantage of trade and development not only between Bangladesh and India in general, but also between the northeastern regions of India and Bangladesh in particular. India can also enhance its economic and defense dominance in Southeast Asia and East Asian regions as well as in the Indo-Pacific region. After adopting the Act-based policy, trade of both countries has been increased, although India's export bundle and gain has expanded than those of Bangladesh. This is perhaps that India has launched and started implementing this prudent policy through various programs as well as its capability. So we can end up in concluding that more collaboration, cooperation, and connectivity between India and Bangladesh in the light of the Act's policy can enhance the potentials of boosting trade and remittance and hence the development in the economies. So before I'm ending my presentation, I would like to thank the organizer of this seminar or of this international seminar, Professor Dr. Ranjit Das, and the Motherland University for arranging this grand festival, we can say, and the successful happening and successful completion of the seminar and of the festival. So I would like to thank everybody for patient hearing. And with this, I would like to finish my presentation. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Wat. Okay. So, yeah, may I invite Prof. Wado, because I think we cannot afford that to miss the opportunity to have a discussion, a short discussion about Bangladesh-India relations. I have the impression, by the way, Prof. Wado, about, that despite the pandemic, seems to be that the effect of the COVID-19 is much less in terms of the relation between Bangladesh and India when it comes to merchandise trade. And second is that more or less the Northeast region is actually reflected so far in terms of the relations because of the more or less perhaps because of the geographical proximity between India and Bangladesh. So with that, I'll open the floor for some questions. Maybe one or two questions. Would like to raise the first question? Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Good morning, all of you. I'm Sushil Kumar, senior journalist from Nagaland. Nagaland Post was being started. And I'm from Pune, Maharashtra. Today, along with me, one chairman of the market committee from Nasik, Pipalgaon, is with me out here, Mr. Deshmani. He has got on the practical ground, when we think of activating this active policy, difficulties faced by the businessmen from Western India, and this side, when we talk about Nagaland, you have got some of the trade centers like Longua, Panta, then Avonko, all these places. 2000, these people they started it. They started it. But still today, there is nothing. Road infrastructure, no. Money has come, vanished. Likewise, these are the practical difficulties which everybody is facing. Before that, I just want that some of the practical difficulties which you are facing from Maharashtra, they would like to highlight it to you.
but nowadays that is not happening. And as a result, he is saying that our farmers are suffering. So what things can be done in order to again get the orders from Bangladesh as far as grapes is concerned?
Bangladesh is the great, is a good or great importer of grapes from India. So we do not produce any grapes in India.
Yeah.
So we entirely import from India.
No, but nowadays it is not happening.
And not happening. I think we are at this moment we are importing from through Calcutta. I think from Calcutta we are importing the grapes, apples, oranges also.
They have they say that overall it has stopped for the whole country also, not even from Calcutta also.
But still we are getting some grapes. They still getting not. I think if it is officially stopped, but unofficially we are importing.
But why officially they have stopped? They have a question.
These are the matters of the governments of Bangladesh and governments of India. And I think some of the borders are closed at this moment.
We have increased the stamp duty. Some duty.
This is the yes. This is the these are the some issues. So we need to Bangladesh needs to increase its revenue. So in order to increase its revenue, Bangladesh also at this moment wants to save some foreign currency. There are some foreign currency crises in many countries in the world at this moment. So we want to save some foreign currency and we want to increase some revenue also. So for this is that as we see that Bangladesh is importing less at this moment. Not only from India, from other countries also. So the import value is lower at this moment. In case of Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is importing less. There are some quantitative and qualitative restrictions. Yeah, there are some agreements, but there are some domestic or internal issues, right? So India can also increase some tariff or taxes. Bangladesh can also increase some tariff and taxes. And I think those are the matters of the official levels, government levels. So individually we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I feel is that is totally, if you going to see from economics point of view, well, suppose Bangladesh is previously importing from India, they have now they have stopped. So we should not be off-minded that is Bangladesh not importing, that we will import. I feel that here from economic sense of view, as a student of economics, and I feel that let's have an idea that if Bangladesh is not importing, that we should not stop our production, rather than we should go for the value addition. Why not we rather than suppose if we build up by ourselves some value addition, as for example from suppose lychee, right? The Bangladesh is producing juice, they're again exporting to us. Why not do the same thing? We have a value addition, we have some grapes juice or something also, and we try to export some other countries also. So I feel that it is honest for you also. You should please explore what are maybe the other countries also, which is very near to India or which are the basic importer, who are the basic consumption of foods. So we can also think of that one also.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have some questions. You can continue the discussion given the time constraint. Otherwise, we're going to proceed with the next presentation. This is very interesting considering that sometimes in the agreement, well, it's not only happening between Bangladesh and India, it's also happening in the Philippines and other countries in Southeast Asia. Sometimes the two and the heads are not talking to each other. So maybe there must be a coordination when it comes to from the very basic lower local government units, even Chamber of Commerce and central government for that matter. So with that, I'm given the permission now to proceed to a short but substantial, maybe short but sweet discussion of Professor Ratul Mahanta, the professor and head of the Department of Economics of Guwahati University. May I invite Prof. Mahanta, please.
Okay, I'll be very short because already we had a discussion on that regarding the energy, the cross-border, the electricity, the transportation. So basically, we like to discuss on that. So it's about the trade between India and South Asia. It is the cross-border electricity transition and the NER. So what we came to know, so the whole presentation of the structure will be, first of all, I'd like to give an idea of what is the CBET, the cross-border electricity, the trading, then trading of power. The Indian, I like to talk something about the India and Bhutan. After that, I like to follow that one by the role of the China, and after that, scope for the NER with respect to BTR. So that will be my whole presentation, whatever I have structured. Next one, please. So it has been seen that a country's economic development is very much related to the consumption of the power, right? It means that if you have per capita electricity consumption more, then obviously it is seen that the growth of the economy or the per capita income of the people also increases. So in that sense, it has been seen that globally the electricity export, right, is one of the cheapest one or the lowest one in comparison to other power sources. As for example, if we're going to look at from the point of oil, then the oil export is about 65% of the total export. Okay. If you look at the crude oil, then you will get an idea it's about 33% of total production. If you look at the gas, then you'll get an idea that it's about 20% of total production. On the other hand, the electricity is just only 4% of the total production. Okay. So why it is so low? Obviously, the reason is that we don't have that much of the enough capacity to produce ourselves domestically. Okay. But on the other hand, if you see over the years, then you can see there is a mismatch between the demand and supply. Right? In 2020, we have a demand of about 2,000 kilowatt hours. On the other hand, we have only the production of 1,100. So it's a mismatch between the 1,900 kilowatt hours. Okay. So if we have a mismatch between demand and supply, right? The same thing also happened in European countries also. So they have developed one concept which is known as the cross-border electricity trading, right? It means that if we could not fill up our mismatch domestically, then only one option is that we have to import from our neighboring countries. So that has been done in neighboring countries, and they have concluded that it is one of the best way rather than they produce right the same electricity in their own country, and it's always better to have import from the neighboring country. Because from the point of economics point of view, we know that whether we have comparative advantages, there we should go for more export and import of that type of commodity. But the condition is that in order to be feasible of a cross-border electricity trading, all right, it means that in order to be cross-border electricity trading, then we should have the CBTI, the cross-border transmission, the interconnections. It means that first of all, we should have a cross-border transmission interconnection. Then and only then we will have a cross-border electricity trading. Okay. So therefore, the physical CBTI is the pivotal role of the cross-border electricity trading. Okay. So I'm looking at how the BTR may be benefited or how the Northeast may be benefited with the help of the cross-border electricity trading in the light of the Actis policy. Because with the help of Actis policy, the Bhutan is one of our closest, one of the friendliest the country among all the South Asian countries. So my whole discussion will be basically for the export and import of the electricity for our own consumption and also for exporting to some neighboring countries. Next slide, please. So you can see that here the projected electricity generation for India up to 2050. Then you can see there is a huge demand for the Indian electricity consumption in terms of our own means production of the electricity. Okay. And interestingly, the CBTI, the cross-border transmission right interconnection, that only now exists only for 3 countries: Bhutan, the Nepal, and the Bangladesh. We are importing electricity from the Bhutan. On the other hand, we are exporting the Nepal and the Bangladesh. Okay. So therefore, next slide, please. So therefore, we have to rely the Bhutan for importing our electricity consumption. Now the question is that why not we can produce ourselves domestically the electricity whatever we need. Right. Obviously, question arises. So in order to have an answer of this question, that we have to look at what is the strength of the India electricity production. It has been seen that over the 2-3 years decade, India has been self-sufficient, to producing its own the resources to convert the electricity, because we have many other power sources, right? One is the wind power, we have the oil and gas, but they are not that much sufficient, right, to produce whatever we want. Moreover, there is also apprehension is going on that whether we can use our now basic the sources of the electricity, that is the coal, right? Because a lot of controversy is now going on about the stock of the coal, right? And even the government of India also a little bit apprehensive regarding the declaration of the stock of the coal, because Indian government is are waiting for a final signal from even court also that whether they want to declare the province like of availability of the coal or not. So in that situation, right, it is very, very important for India to know its potential, our other power sources. It has been seen that it is about 150 gigawatt, our potential power source from the hydropower, the 65 gigawatt from our wind, and is 100 gigawatt for the solar power. Although that amount is a huge one, but it's not that much sufficient to meet our the expected demand. So therefore, importing electricity from neighboring countries is only a feasible solution for India rather than to harvesting its own existing power sources. And at present, the neighboring country is only the Bhutan. Okay. So therefore, Bhutan has a pivotal element in India's two major foreign policies. One is the neighborhood first policy, other is the Act-East policy. Right? So on looking at the 42 as important, the pivotal policy of India's foreign policy, we have only one option is that somehow we have to rely on the Bhutan. Okay? It is not just that we have to rely on Bhutan. It is a both win-win situation for both the two countries. Next slide, please. So it has been seen that the cross-border trading has increased to about 6 kilowatt from the recent one, 2 kilowatt from 1990 to 2005. Okay, and Bhutan has about 24,000 megawatt technically feasible hydropower potential. Right. So therefore, it is very important for India how to tap this 24,000 megawatt electricity that has been installed even in Bhutan. Right. So it is not the only Indian concern that India somehow to import that amount of the electricity from the Bhutan. Because if India is going to import, certainly it will be beneficial position for the Bhutan. But it's not only beneficial position for the Bhutan, it is also win-win situation for both the two countries. It means that it is also beneficial position for India also. Next slide, please. So it is very interesting why Bhutan is interested to be with India, because it has been seen that over the years, over the few decades, it has been seen that whatever the Bhutan produces electricity and send to India, it's about the 40% of their total GDP. It means that they earn about their total 40% of their 40% total revenue, and it's cost about 25% of their total GDP. It's not only 25% of total GDP, rather they also earn the 25% of total GDP from the hydropower infrastructure, right? And interestingly, this hydropower infrastructure is basically installed by India, right? So if you're going to look at, if you add 42, the 25%, 25%, then we can see about half of the total GDP of Bhutan is basically for the power export to India, okay? Because 25% is direct revenue earned from India, and other 25% is basically for the infrastructure facility that has been installed again by India. Okay. On the other hand, why India is so interested, that we have to look at. That already research that has been done, and on the basis of the research, it has been estimated that if you're going to produce one megawatt hour of hydropower, right, it costs about $65. On the other hand, if you're going to produce 1 megawatt, right, from the coal, right, it costs about $100. So obviously, it is always better to go for production of our electricity from hydropower rather than the coal. This is first thing. Second thing is that there is also obviously a transportation cost, and now it has been estimated that because of our inadequate transportation cost, that cost of it means that production of 1 megawatt on the basis of hydropower is 65. If somehow we can reduce our transportation cost by bringing up a very sophisticated or very adequate road facility, because Bhutan is very proximity to the BTR region. So therefore, by that also we can at least minimize our transportation cost. And it is estimated that that $65 will come definitely to $35. So once it is definitely come to $35, it is a huge gap, right? It is a huge gap between the the production of the electricity on the basis of hydropower in comparison to on the basis of the coal. Okay. Acha. Well, so although India is very much interested for the Bhutan for its export, but although it is a bilateral policy, but it also paved the way for the multilateral also. It means that on the basis of the bilateral way, India could also export whatever India could earn or whatever India could import electricity from the Bhutan, that again can be exported to Bhutan, can be exported again to Bangladesh and the Nepal. It's not about only bilateral, because yesterday I have given an idea that you see, if India is not harvesting its own power sources, right? Obviously, India could minimize the CO2 emission. As a student of economics, mostly you have some idea, right? Because now people are obviously talking about the global warming. One of the major sources of global warming is the emission of CO2, right? If so, it has been estimated that if India is not harvesting its own power sources, on the other hand, if India could only harvest all the hydropower, which is known as the clean energy, right? Then India could minimize the emission of carbon dioxide and CO2 by about half, right, within the next 2 decades. So once India could minimize the carbon emission, right, then what is the advantage of India? That India could also participate in the carbon trading. So do you have any idea as a student of economics? As I like to give an idea, there is a concept which is known as carbon trading. It means that every country they has a tapping, right? It means that suppose India got from UNO, then we have a tapping of 20%. It means that India can emit, right? India can go for emission of carbon dioxide maximum 20%. If India is not emitting maximum 20%, suppose India could only emit the carbon dioxide 10%. The gap 10% India can sell to the other country. Did you get my point? On the other hand, suppose USA is tapping 50%. On the other hand, if USA is the emission of carbon dioxide is 60%, so that extra 10% the USA can buy from India. Did you get my point? This is known as carbon trading. It means that India can trade the carbon with the USA. And in return of that, the USA can give us something to us, which is known as a green funding. That is the concept of carbon trading. It means that if you could not tax your tapping of carbon, then you can say, right, that the same concept is also now starting in the USA also. In USA, right, every household now they are producing the electricity. Here we can't even believe that every household can even produce the electricity, because we have the electricity board is a monopoly. It means they are producing and they are distributing. But in USA, that almost all the household they have one solar plant, right? It means suppose if your requirement is suppose 1 megawatt. So in 1 month your requirement is, or 1 year, suppose your requirement is 1 megawatt. But with the help of the solar power that you install in the roof, if you can produce the 2 megawatt, then extra megawatt you can sell to your neighboring people also. Right? That concept is coming to some other country also. And in India also, as looking at that type of project also, India also started that installation of that type of power project in Delhi and some other cities also. That once you can produce some or whatever it is, then it can even sell also. That is the idea behind the carbon trading. Then, why India is very interested for the Bhutan is not only for the economic benefit, it is also for the security purpose also. Because India could really visualize that besides India, there are also one other country also who is trying to show their occupancy in the whole South Asian nations. Right, it is nothing but China. Because on the basis of many other bilateral trade, right, China has already captured the South Asian country, and China is also one of the very important member of our Asian power grid system. And similarly, China is also part of our Northeast Asia. China is also the part of our great Mekong, the sub-region, right? So in that sense, it is very important for India to be with some of our neighboring country. And India has the potentiality to be with the neighboring country as the Bhutan, right? So therefore, besides some economic benefit also, there are some diplomatic, right? The advantage for India also to invest more in Bhutan, because China also looking to invest more on Bhutan, but till now, the China could not do that one, because India is very closely related to the Bhutan, not only from economic point of view, from other diplomatic point of view also. So therefore, the investing in case of the hydropower project by India to Bhutan is very, very important from the security purpose. Right? So this is one map that shows how the existing plan of CPTI under GMS the greater Mekong, the sub-region. Because China has already captured almost all the Southeastern nations, right, based on the carbon trade, cross-border, the illicit trading, right? So you can actually see that China has connected almost all the our Southeastern countries with the help of cross-border illicit trading, right? It means that because you can see, can you go to the next slide? Because you see that the projected electricity generation of demand and import and export for the China for the next 2020, then you can see that, right? The electricity generation for the China is higher than their own expected demand, right? It means that by 2050, then China can produce more whatever they want. So if they are going to produce more whatever they want, so obviously they have to supply their electricity. So already they have built up that type of negotiation with the neighboring countries, right? So it is a high time for India also to develop its own tie-up to the neighboring countries so that, right, China would not take over, right, Indian diplomacy, right? So in your the left hand side, the figure that you will get an idea that how there's a interconnected the China with the other our Southeastern countries. Next slide, please. Okay, so already there a lot of research is going on, and finally India has developed one map that through which, with the help of the cross-border electricity trading, India could also link up with these Southeastern countries also. So this is one map that India is projected by 2050, right? India could at least, right, link up by with the help of that little line. So you can also see from the means that from any year or from some parts of India also that line can go up to the Singapore and the Malaysia also. In the same way, that you can also see the line goes up to Iran and Tajikistan also. Already China have developed a lot of good link with Tajikistan here also. But the good thing is that they are also now in favor of India also. So it's hope that India could try to make a good link up by 2050 with the help of cross-border electricity trading. Next slide, please. So what are the benefits for the BTR, right? So obviously increased power supply and it will be economic benefit because it is BTR is very close proximity with Bhutan. So obviously the BTR will be highly benefiting, right, because of the import of power supply right from Bhutan by India. Moreover, there is some positive externality also. That positive externality means that in economics we call externality when suppose a third party get benefit, right? Then we call it positive externality, right? So it means that if somehow India and Bhutan they are very close tie-up, right? And in case of the export and import of the power supply, so obviously you will have a lot of positive externality to this BTR region because why this some positive externality? Because obviously there will be more scope of employment, there will be more scope of adequate power, means the infrastructure facility also. It is very sure that the road transportation. Now what is the situation now? Obviously, that road transportation facility will obviously increase for the next 10 years. Right? So these are some positive externality that the BTR can have because of the very close tie-up between India and the Bhutan because of the cross-border electricity traffic. Although some apprehension is going on because already we have experience in a few years back that because of the something going on in the hydropower project in Bhutan, that our Manas National Park has been parted away. We have also have seen that in few years back that because of downstream region, because as BTR is a downstream region of Bhutan, so obviously there are some adverse environmental and some socio-political aspect also may be affected right in the BTR region also because of the hydropower, the project installation in Bhutan. So these all apprehension is all going on, but still we can say because if we can at least build up the cross-border electricity the trading, certainly it will be a very beneficial position for both India and for the and for the BTR region also. Okay. So thank you. This is all about because I didn't take a lot of time because of we have some other presentation also, and I am very much interested for getting some questions from you. And but besides, I'd like to say one thing is that it is not only that I am talking about the exchange of the power or the energy export and import energy. We have some other scope also because we need to know that why we need to have more investment in the NER, right? Because because from the people of northern region and people of southern region, they are very interested that they should go for more investment in the NER. So that we need to know very carefully that why people should be very interested in NER. One thing is that the NER in the next 20 years, the next 2 decades, right? NER will be a hotspot of the business, right, for the India. And India could already India visualize that if we could not, right, if we could not enhance this capacity of NER in terms of many ways, in terms of infrastructure or in terms of cultural exchange, then India will going to miss the link between is India going to miss the link with the Southeastern nations, right? So this is very high time for the Indian nation also, right, to look for the east also, and as from the active policy from as a people of NER, we also take the advantage of that one. Okay, so therefore we have to be very, very careful what type of advantages that we can take, right, from the Actis policy. Although people, a lot of apprehension is going on, if we open up the Actis policy, certainly that this is simply a corridor, rather than we won't get any benefit, it is simply a bypass to all goods and services to the Southeastern nations. No, why it should bypass? We have to somehow get a track of all the beneficial that India is going to get. At least we should also have some beneficial position as a any other people also, right? So it's a onus for you, and it's a young generation, right? Already Nobel laureate has given you idea that who are in between the 15 to 35 years. It is the way you are the responsibility for the next hour coming the 30 years or 40 years. You have to think in a different way, right? Whatever the ideas that you got from your own textbook, we have a little bit away from our ideas from the textbook. You have to think how we can develop our NER, right, on the basis of what are the efficiency that we have. Already we have good efficiency that we are the people that who can speak, right, more in English, right, even in the whole India as a whole as a country, right. Already Narendra Modi has also given an idea that this is one of the advantages, that almost all the northeastern people that can speak English, right. So these are some other things also that we have to take advantage, and I wish that as a young Indian, right, you will also be able to take this advantage of the Actis policy. So thank you all of you.
Uh, Go ahead. Just a short. It's,
Anyway, thank you so much for the presentation. You talked about a little bit about, and we are also aware of the externalities, and we talked about carbon trading and all. So, how far or how practical it is? What is the extent of carbon trading? We know Bhutan is a carbon negative country, and like how far it is, or how practical it is, and what is the extent of like carbon trading going on between India and within the Asian nations, or so we can say like. And another one more, it's not a query, sir. Please take it. Like when we talk about the externalities, which is related with transmission lines. You see the big dangling wires right now here. We are almost near to the passing near to us and going through the CIT. How far is it practically like addressable, or it is being addressed when you talk about those kind of externalities which are related to the livelihoods of the people? That's a small observation which you may explain. Thank you.
According to sir, your presentation, government of India is investing for expansion of infrastructure in hydro electricity generation in Bhutan, and other things are also being done by government of India. So, can we expect that India's dependency on Bhutan will increase by taking electricity? And what about the consistency of our administration, these dream project that's made in India? make in India project as well as dependence on its neighboring. Because we should not forget about Dogalam and other border problems created by China. So one day may come that after investing so much money and everything, that China is being captured by all the hydropower. And then what about the India in that case?
Okay. So first coming to the carbon trading, right? So it's good that India is still a very good position of carbon trading. Although, if we see for in case of the per capita consumption of CO2, right, the emission of carbon dioxide, that it is the highest by the USA, the China, and after that India. Okay, because already there is the class is going on, because when you're going to have the total volume, in a sense that USA is the highest, means USA produces the highest carbon dioxide. On the other hand, if you see the per capita income, the China produces the highest the carbon dioxide. Okay, so in between that, although India is the third position with producing the carbon dioxide, and India has already declared. Yeah. So India has already declared that we are not going to use our the existing primary power sources starting at coal. Hello? Hello? Yeah. So, but still some apprehension is going on that whether we could really rely on our other renewable sources, the hydropower, then the solar and or the wind power. Still some apprehension is going on. Although the France and other countries they declared that from 2040 that we are not going to use the coal, but still that type of apprehension is going on. Although it is declared that in the next 10 or next 2 decades, we are going to shift our whole the petrol and diesel car to the some electricity car, but still some apprehension is going on. But what I really feel that although in case of total volume, right, India is the third position, but in case of per capita income, sorry, per capita CO2 consumption, India's position is still far below than the other developed countries. No. We are not that. So that's the expectation, right? It means that we are not in a position now to exchange in the carbon, because already Bhutan declared that they are the zero carbon country in the world. Yeah, carbon negative country. So therefore, what we are basically thinking is that if somehow we can reduce our CO2 emission, not by harvesting our own power sources, but rather than if we import the power from the Bhutan, because why it has been seen that in some of the commodities better always buy to from other country rather than to produce by yourself, right? This is basically the comparative cost advantage theory of economics, right? It means that it is always better to produce some of the suppose agricultural crops in BTR rather than to buy from other, right? Because if you're going to produce that type of things in BTR, then your cost of production will be higher than rather than import, right? So therefore, it has been already estimated that it is always better for us to import electricity from Bhutan rather than to harvest our own power sources. Why? Because one thing is that our cost will be less. Second thing is that we can at least not to use. We are not in a position to produce our own carbon dioxide. So that's why we are expecting that if we can reduce our emission of carbon dioxide, what the tapping, right? At least we can reduce of the tapping, and in near future we can trade our carbon to our other neighboring countries. Did you get my point? Regarding the transmission, yes. Although there is also some apprehension is going on that they have some environmental and sociological adverse effect, because of which there is a mass protection against the Swansiri hydropower project in Assam, and because of which the project has been delayed by many years, and for which the cost has been increased by multiple times, right? But still, we can expect that there is a good scope for at least for the northeastern region, because why the northeastern region is placed in the hilly region. We should not always think that it is a landlocked country, it is a hilly area, that's why we are in disadvantages. Sometimes what happens that disadvantages may be advantages position also, right? So therefore, I always tell my students also, please do not always say the bad things. You please try to tell some good things also. When you're going to say about your village, right, you always have to tell about your good things about the village. Don't say that we don't have anything. We have enough. Only thing is that we are not in a position to look what are the good things we have in our own, right? The second thing. Regarding, sir, about your question, that whether we should really always rely on the Bhutan, it's not like that. It is not like if you're not relying on the Bhutan, then there was something happened to India. No. India actually basically investing its money in the installation of the hydropower project in Bhutan, not only from economic sense, but also from security sense also, right? Because India is playing a very important diplomatic role, because India it could easily visualize that Bhutan is the only one country where the China could not interfere till now. Already China had made their CBTI with Myanmar also, with Bangladesh also, even Nepal also. But this is the only one country that China till now could not interfere over India in case of the Bhutan. And we have seen that over the last 50 years close relationship with Bhutan, Bhutan is also till now with India also. And we are expecting that if somehow we could at least have a good close friendship with the Bhutan, then obviously we can at least make out right China from the Bhutan, right? Why it is very important? Because you see, although India is trying to export Myanmar also, but already Myanmar is very close to the China. So that's why our Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji has trying to make a good link with the Bangladesh, because if somehow we can make a good link with the Bangladesh, through Bangladesh we can link up with the Myanmar. The first thing. And the second thing is that already India has making lot of initiative to develop the Meghna River basin. Because I am also a member of that project, that India is trying a lot to develop that Meghna River basin, because this is one of the very hot spots. If we can succeed in making our that Meghna River basin, the tie-up with the Bangladesh, then we are expecting a lot, right? That certainly some good things will happen for between India and Bangladesh. You'll be very happy to know that in the last year, right? Because of our friendship, 75 years, isn't it, sir? 75 years India Bangladesh this is friendship. Because of that, Bangladesh has announced the 200 scholarship, right? And this time also Bangladesh is going to announce about another 200 or 300 scholarship. And you'll be happy to know that most of the international students now, they are in most of the NER universities. We have also 7 in Dibrugarh University. Also they have 11, and this time I heard that they have also applied in the Boston University also. So I like to request the Boston University also, please try to get that type of the beneficial the advantage also, because now if we could have good relation with our foreign countries also, certainly we could see some foreign students in the Boston University also. Okay, so these are the good things that we can take potentiality of that. These are the good things. So certainly we could see a good future for India, right? Linking with the Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Nepal and other our neighboring countries. So thank you very much.
Was given now the permission to extend until 12, so we have enough time. Enough. Yes, perhaps we can accommodate for a few more questions. Yes, but no, that's okay. We're given now the time to engage.
Well, respected chairperson, respected speaker, dignitaries, my colleague and dear student friends, I am very much thankful to respected speaker, Professor Mohan Prasad, head in the Department of Economics, Guwahati University. He has made a good deliberation on the topic that it is electricity production and its supply and its a connectivity with
neighboring countries. I do hope that basically the faculty members and the students of related area will be immensely benefited out of his lecture. Thank you very much, sir. I beg apologies, sir, so that it is respected chairperson of today's that is sharing or discussion. My presentative observation and the question that I want to put is not connection with the topic, whatever he has made in this session, sir. I have some observation in connection with yesterday's session, sir. Morning session. Morning session, that is, India in the light of ethnic policy. Since we have no scope for interaction in yesterday's session, so I find it advantageous to have some idea from Mohanto sir. Whatever it is some of the speakers they need to make in this yesterday's session, sir. So can I do that, sir? Uh, so first observation is in connection with whatever Saja sir made in his deliberation, sir. That is, he has made the point that so in terms of that is investment, that is investors along with that is multinational corporations, they are not coming to that is BTR region or Bodoland region, and he made the point that because of the that is some apprehension in the mind of that is local authority and local people. He was making the point that is due to fear of demolition or destruction of that is this cultural heritage of this BTR region. So whatever we are knowing that this is not that is sole that is factor why that is investor or investors or it is multinational corporations, they are not coming into our Bodoland region. Sir, this is not the sole region, I do think. Not only the case of it is Bodoland area, the matter is same for the Assam or state as a whole, and it is northeastern states of it is our country. So I would like to request Mohanto sir to explain what are the that is other aspects or other regions maybe they are in behind. Why it is MNCs or investors that they are not coming forward as we desire, not up to the that is level. That is one. Another that is point that I had in mind yesterday. The points raised by that is Professor Utpal from Northeastern Hill University. While speaking in the session, he made one of the important point there, that is under the age of globalization, under the age of globalization, though each and every countries of the world who do participate into the that is international transaction, they're supposed to be benefited. But he made one of the point there, due to that is discrimination made by that is America and other Western developed countries of the world, four countries of the world or nation, they are not in a position to benefit, to be benefited out of this international transaction of this goods and services under this globalization. So my question is that whether this is only because of discrimination done by that is Western developed countries of the world, sir, whether there are some other aspects, whether it is four countries of the world, they themselves need to prepare themselves uh, to compete in this that is the globalized world, to be benefited out of international transaction of goods and services. So I would like to request Mohanto sir to speak in this regard something so that the students of economics can be benefited, faculty members of these economics and other related subjects can be benefited out of your that is suggestions in this regard. Please, sir.
So may I allow, because I don't know what is the time. Okay, first of all, I do apologize. You're from Philippines and you're from Bangladesh. Okay. Regarding the answer of the first question, I like to relate some of the things that I have experienced from Assam. Okay. You see, why people are not interested to invest here? I do not want to blame others. Right? The onus is ours. Right? I still remember when I started in IIT. Right? At the time when all students, we already 8 students from the NER, Northeastern regions, right, in IIT Guwahati, long back, it's about 2000, 2000 to 2001. Then every IIT students at the time, they thought that coming to Assam is coming to the forest or jungles. Right? It is very, very important. I like to just mention, please don't take it otherwise. This is off the record, right? You'll be so surprised to know the IIT students are very meritorious, but they don't know. They thought that the Guwahati is the capital of whole India. They could not differentiate the Meghalaya, the Nagaland, the Tripura. So that's the situation. So the onus is us, how we are going to represent ours in front of us, right? I feel that in this sense, having this type of knowledge festival is the right time, because we need to tell the world that we are the Assam, we have also state Assam, we have also a region BTR. Then only then people will know, right? Otherwise people won't know anything, right? And what we expect from others, right? We have to tell that yes, we are here. And also it is the onus for us, we need to tell, right, who we are and what are the things that we have, right? We need to know, right? Otherwise, if we are always saying that please come and invest, nobody will come, definitely. Because even if I also a businessman, even I feel that there is some problem, why I will go? This is very simple answer, right? So first thing is that we have to show to the world that you see, please come to us. We will give feet on them. Nothing will happen here. We have a lot of efficiency. We have enough young staff. We have these are the things, advantages. Things are here. We are very rich in our culture. We are very rich in our this agriculture production. We are rich in there. Yesterday I had a talk with my friends. Right, then we could know that we had a very strong link, right, with South Asian nations. Right, it's about 1,000 years back. Right, once the British came, actually they totally broke that link. And now after that, we have to look to the west rather than the east. Actually, we are at the very beginning to the east, actually. Right? If you see the 1,000 years back, we had a strong relation with the east. Once the British India Company came, they broke that link and they forced us to see to the west. Right? And it's the high time that we have to again link with the east. And in that sense, the onus is ours, responsibility to us. Somehow we have to link with the east. Right? And for that matter, we have to, right, make faith on the people that please do visit us. Right? And this is the right platform, I would say, the right time that we will show our whatever we have. The first thing. The second thing regarding the developing countries. Yes, this is very true. Right? If we're going to fight to each other's, right? Obviously, there is a gap between developed and developing countries. Why we should always link with the developed countries? My point is that. Right? Why? Because if you see, if you want to go from somewhere to Assam to a very other place, it will take much longer time. Then if within a short period of time, you can actually this our resources here. Because as we have very strong cultural link with the activities here, right? Then we should also participate in some other that types of organization also. Recently, I came to know that Assam government has one beautifully they are going to organize. We have a car rally also, right? Because we had a car rally from the Manipur to Myanmar. So why we are advising our Assam government that in that type of car rally, why not we showcase our own at least academic things also, right? Just like yesterday I've seen, right, in our that knowledge festival, the Tezpur University participated, some other university participated. I would say, suppose if there is any book fair in the Delhi, right, please join the PTR, the Borderland University, please join there also. Then all of the people will know, yes, there is also Borderland University, there is also PTR, right? In the next hour, car rally to our Bangladesh or Myanmar, please join the Borderland University, please join, right? Then and only that type of the gap what is now existing, that gap will be made. Otherwise, I always, even my long days, I still remember, my parents also, I used to tell, please don't expect others. Whatever you have to do by yourself. So I do believe on that also, right? Regarding your developing country also, please do not think that the developed country is going to be so normalized to us, they will be so soft to us, right? Please don't think that. They are also in such a situation that everybody is always interested about the profit motive, right? Even me also, right? If I won't get any profit, then I won't go, right? So therefore, we have to show the developing countries, yes, if you come to the developing country also, you will get a lot of things, right? And it's the best way now, as because of the globalization, as we know, now everything is a very small villages. We can at least know each other's, right? So therefore, it is a high time, and it is a high time for the young generation also, right? Because we have the 15 to the 35. This age is very, very important for our next, the India's, our growth and development also. So I do request all the young generation, it is a high time for you. You have to show your efficiency, you have to show your innovation, right? Because I do believe that, right? Every students, they are born by the entrepreneurship. You are born by the entrepreneurship. Please don't charge the service. Because once you go for the service, then you are abide by all the fixed rules and regulations. Then in that sense, the entrepreneurship capacity is going to be collapsed, right? So please go to some business activity also, entrepreneurship also, certainly it will be good for us. Okay, thank you. I do not know whether I can exactly link your second question, but I tried my level best. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think just to briefly also respond to that question on globalization and the multinational corporations. If I am the head of the MNCs, I'd like to see actually 4 criteria. Whether it's good to invest in certain area, just like Assam or Northeast region. One is logistics. Second is peace and order. Third will be employment, labor, and the salary. Fourth is actually the materials, and of course the energy. Okay, so all these things we cannot fault even investors not to go because there's actually a historical baggage on the part of Assam, on the part of Northeast region. I think it will take time for you to change it. It's a change of mindset because one is that there's also a problem visa regime here. There's a restriction. And therefore, if you want to make it open, then open it, meaning to say that you have a special zone or maybe a special economic incentives for that, for all investors to come. To complement what Professor mentioned about Make India, Skill India, and Open India for that matter. So I think it's very important that you have to consider that there's a change of mindset from the end of the investor. At the same time, there's also a change of perception and maybe an initiative coming from the government and from the people, especially the young ones, because they are supposed to be the future leaders of this land, and therefore you are ambassadors at the same time. So you have to make good of your making impression outside if you happen to go and do your mobility outside. So yes.
So before coming here, do you have any idea about the BTR or the Northeast India? Because as you're also leading of the Asian South Asian studies, okay? Anything? So what are chances that you have in the next 5 days?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's not really new to me because since 2009, I've been working on the Look-East policy in the Northeast region. And it so happened that I'm also an advisor of a Brigadier General here in India, working on the Northeast region in the Philippines. So,
Excuse me, sir.
yes, go ahead.
Whatever I want to make the question, this question is also linked to whatever that the Mohanta sir has made. And in this occasion, I do feel that you may miss among us on the power place, really fine. And thank you very much for making it convenient to be here in Bodoland University. And I do also feel it. You are the right person. Then whatever the question that has been raising in my mind also regarding the case, we are in the light of there is a police issue. Interestingly, while looking on yesterday's session, That is the guest speaker from Nehru, Utpal Desai. He was laughing and made the point that prospect, 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 prospect. Every time we are talking about prospects only, prospects of the northeastern region in terms of that is its economic development, social development, etc., etc. So I find it advantageous to share the points, not from myself, to share in this platform from your side, sir. So after the adoption of the policy by India government, that is Act East policy, to what extent these prospects for development in our that is South Asian countries has been achieved, sir. Please highlight in brief, sir, so that students of economics and that is other related subjects will be benefited out of it is your sharing, sir. Please.
Yeah, I think if you want me to be honest and blunt in my answer regarding the critical assessment, I hope I can go out still in India after this. Is that the way I look at it, the Lucas policy in the context of the Northeast region, I see that as very slow. That means we keep on talking about the development of the Lucas policy or the ACIS policy and the involvement of the development of the Northeast region. But I feel it's more rhetoric, more or less rhetoric than the supposedly in reality. So, but I'm happy right now that particularly it might be slow. What is important, it continues to grow rather than it's going to be nil and nothing else after this. So you start very slow, but I hope that you continue and definitely grow as the years come. And I think because of, I think Prof. Rato mentioned, don't miss the bus. That's your point. Don't miss the bus. Meaning to say that you already, I think Indians missed that opportunity. You left a big space in that market of Southeast Asia, despite the fact that you have 30 years already relaunching, engaging with Southeast Asia after the Glasnost and Perestroika, I mean the conclusion of the Cold War. But you give opportunity for China to dominate. I use the word dominate, but it's happening right now. So what you can do is not too late, it's never too late, so you can always initiate, make India, scale India, train India for that matter, and I think the secret to that success is the Northeast region, and because it is supposed to be the bridge, it's your door to Southeast Asia, and therefore make use of that to connect even to the Philippines, though we are quite geographically distant, but we can make use of that connection. So it's not yet late, it's not too late. We can always make of that as an opportunity. So I hope I can still go out, Guwahati and safe and sound. But that's the joke. Okay, so I think if we have time, it's about 35 minutes. We have 3 more presentations till 12. If we have more time, maybe we can open some questions. But for now, I'd like to invite, because it's very interesting. We shift from, it's like a plane. They said ASEAN is like a jumbo jet. It has India and China as the wings. So we shift now from the trade going to more important topic also on cultural ties. I think the 3 topics are related to mobility, connectivities. And I'd like to ask the presenter to maybe limit your presentation to about 7 to 10 minutes. About 7 to 10 minutes. And if we have time, we can go on with that question and answer portion. So, may I now invite the first presenter, Dr. Nayan Jyoti Pata, along with Dr. Sarali, who is going to present with a theme, with the title of this paper, Historical Linkage, a Cultural Ties of Thai Homes of Assam with Countries of Mainland Southeast Asia. So may I invite Dr. Pata to please present your paper. for about 10 minutes. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Manjuli Pathak. So there is a technical problem. I am unable to present in written form, but I hope everyone will cooperate. So my topic is on the historical linkage and cultural ties of Thai Ahoms of Assam with countries of mainland Southeast Asia. So we see in Northeast India, the Ahom, the Ahomism was a very important one. They ruled for from 13th century. They ruled for almost 600 years. So during these 600 years, they have changed. They have put so many impacts on religion in our language and in many other aspects. So in this paper, the main focus was put on to find the historical link and the cultural ties of Thai Ahoms of Assam and the other Thai tribes, Thai tribes of other South Asian countries. So, in the introductory part, I would like to introduce who were the Ahoms. So, Ahoms were sub tribe who originally belonged to the Yunnan province of China. So, we all know that during after 13th century, under the leadership of Sugapa, the Ahoms came to India and they settled here and established established their ceremony. So. So the Brahmaputra Valley of Assam, mainly in Southeast Asia and Southern China, all have significant Thai-speaking population. Many subgroups are reorganized for anthropological and linguistic purposes, but the most significant ones are the Swang in Southern China, the Tho, red Thai, black Thai, and white Thai in northern Vietnam, the Semis or Thai, the Sam in northern Burma, and the Ahom in Assam. So we see that all these sub-tribes in Vietnam, in Laos, in Cambodia, they have a significant similarity with this northeastern northeastern Ahom. So the paper focuses on why there is the similarity. So we see after the death of Genghis Khan, the slowly disintegration of Mughal Empire began, and significant grandson Kublai Khan, what he did, he was a very fierce ruler, and from the main uh, uh, he wanted to extend his empire towards the external borders of China. So the Thai originally living in the Yunnan province, they have to shift. They have to shift their location to other parts of the country. So some of the Thai people they have moved to Upper Burma, some to Thailand, some to Laos. The Ahom settled in northeastern India, and some are still there in the southern China. So what are the similarities? So the similarities are we can find of Ahom tribe and among the uh, other southeastern Thai people is the Ahom script and language. The Ahom script and language share striking similarities with the present-day Thai communities of Yunnan, the ancestral home of language, the ancestor of the Thais. So, if language and script are taken into consideration when identifying the cultural metrics of a group of people, since the Thai Ahom origin long bound in the first half of the 13th century, it is possible that they brought the Thai language used in the Wong area of the current Lehong. So, apart from the language, we see that various traditions also there is a striking similarity. So in food culture also we see that between the Ahom people and between the South Asian people, we have the similarity in food also. So rice or pork is a common concept in ancient Thai culture. The Thai people held the view that the rice contains the vitality element known as quark, and the farmers would make sure that rice was strengthened and allowed to settle in the rice storage house before and after the harvest. All Thai people in various places of Asia can be identified with this quark ceremonial tool. And again, the northeastern region of India and Southeast Asian nations share many similarities. With their set customs and near proximity, both have parallels and are tied in terms of culture and legacy. The festivals that are held in these areas, particularly in the month of April, serve as the best cultural mirror. The beginning of the new year was celebrated with comparable significance by Bohag in Assam, Pai Mai in Laos, Didier Songkran in Thailand, and Sanket in Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh and Assam's type population speak a language related to that of Thailand, and the Lao peoples of the Thailand. And Thai Ahoms are also known as Ahoms and are known by the many names San in Burma, Thai in Thailand, Lao in Laos, Thai and Chuang in China. So we see that the similarity which I was focusing to being between the Ahom people and the other Thai tribes that were existing in the Southeast Asia is because of the language and the scripts. We found that it's more or less or it was mostly similar, suggesting that they had the same origin from their place, origin place of the Thai people, Yunnan. So another similarity is that Balinese dance and Manipuri dance are same similar lessons and effort making eye contact while performing their respective dance styles. So coming to the conclusion, with respect to the Ahomta identity question in India, following their cross-border migration, originally from China and then from Myanmar, the study leads to a few final observations. Thai people in their original home of Yunnan province prior to the 13th century was supposed to be at their peak, but after the 10th century, probably due to the Mongol expansions, various Thai and sub-Thai groups migrated to the countries like India and other South Asian countries. And the similarity we found today is because of their same origin.
Thank you very much. So I think we look at on the tracing the historical development of the relations of people in Assam with the countries in mainland Southeast Asia. Now I'll would like to invite the next presenter, Florence Daimari. Are you around? Okay. Maybe about 7 minutes. You can on indigenous costumes and designs of both communities. So it's very interesting. So a round of applause to our presenter. He's great.
Good morning, respected chairperson and all the dignitaries present here. I myself, Florence Demari, sixth semester student from Auxilium College, Udalguri. Hereby, today's topic is on the costumes, indigenous costumes and designs of the Boro community.
Yeah, so while waiting for that PPT to work, well, it's difficult definitely to discuss customs and designs without the customs and designs. So we need the images also to show. Yeah. Yes, and definitely I agree from an outsider media that it's you have a very colorful and a very unique customs and designs. There are similarities definitely with our indigenous peoples also in the southern part of the Philippines and northern part of the Philippines. I may say yes. Yes, definitely. So I think we have similarities in textile production, but I guess it's because of the landscape and geographical features that somehow make all those designs distinct and unique from each other. Okay, so we're now ready to present about 7 minutes. Otherwise, I have to leave early. Okay, so please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And sorry for this slide issue. So my topic is indigenous costumes and design of Boro community. Boro community is one of the indigenous community situated in Northeast India. Bodos are mainly concentrated in the Bodoland territorial region of Assam, though they inhabit all other districts of Assam. Bodo community is also believed to be one of the earliest settlers of Assam. And Bodos are rich in culture, language, literature, attires, etc., and many others of their own. The distinct cultures of Bodos are influenced by nature and natural objects. Hence, we witness nature and natural objects influencing their costumes and designs. The weavers take inspiration from the various natural elements such as hills, flowers, fish, butterfly, birds, and many more. different traditional events. There are many different traditional events in which Boro people's dress in different costumes. In the dance form of Bagurumba, they wear yellow dokhana and red color fastra, which is a scarf, and then aranai, which they cover their chest and tie on their waist. Next, Kerai Masanai is also one of the dance form. It's also similar to the Bagurumba Masanai, but the Fali is not taken here. Next. Baisagu Masanai. Baisagu Masanai is also one of the dance form. Baisagu is one of the festivals where people enjoy and celebrate this festival for joy. Ransandri Masanai. In Ransandri Masanai, it's kind of going to war for the battle. They take sword. They take sword. They show how ancient people used to go for wars and all. Costumes of Bodo community. Costumes of Bodo community. There are many costumes like dokhana, gamsa, and fali or fastra. Fali or fastra is we can say scarf. This one is the fali which I am putting on. Dokhana. Dokhana is also of two types. One is langa dokhana and one is obrong dokhana. Langa dokhana is which this is the regular wear where we wear in some occasions like you can see now here some Bodo girls, Bodo peoples are wearing dokhana and obrong dokhana. This one is the obrong dokhana which Bodo women wears at home while working. Fasta or fali. Fasta is a regular skirt. Without it, our costume is not fulfilled. Not fulfilled. Aronai. Aronai is a scarf which we use to felicitate and honor the guests and honorable persons. Gamsa. Gamsa is a Bodo traditional wear usually used by the men. Designs in the attires of Bodo community. There are many designs in the Bodo dresses like dokhana, fali, and aronai. Those designs I have mentioned here. One is khasi hatai agor. Khasi is a sickle and hatai is a teeth. Means sickle teeth design. This one which is shown in here is a sickle teeth design. Next please. Dinkhya agor. Dinkhya is a fern. Fern. The agor is design. Fern design. This one is shown here. Fern. Fern design is Dinkhya agor, which is shown here. Baigri Bibar agor. Baigri Bibar agor is an Indian jujube flower design. Haza agor. Haza means mountain. It's a mountain design. Country Kola agor is pine board design. Daurai Mukhet agor, wing of peacock design. Makri agor, Eba Daurai Mukhet agor, wing of peacock design. This the previous one was the small one, small design, but this one is the bigger one. Next. And Agor Gubay. Agor Gubay is a simple straight design. You can see which I am wearing. This one is Agor Gubay. Next. Zinzri Agor. Zinzri is a chain. Zinzri is a chain. It's the design of the zinzri. Zinzri means in Boro we call zinzri to chain. Tiger Bibar Agor. Tiger Bibar Agor means elephant apple flower design. Pharaoh Megon Agor, pigeon eye design. Those designs are imitated from the nature by the weavers. Mm. In this age of globalization, the whole world is becoming like a small village interconnected with each other, thus leading to the association of cultures, assimilation of cultures. These days, some of the traditional Agors, such as Nabigur Agor, Mufur Afa Agor, Jekai Agor, Laihagar Begor, Silai Agor, and many more are not to be found, as these Agor are no longer weaved by the weavers. With the assimilation of culture, we also witness the change in Agor. These days, many machine-woven dokwanas are available in the market, but the Agor seems not to be a traditional one, rather imitated from other cultures. Along with this appearing of some unique indigenous Agor, the local techniques of weaving and looms are also in trade because of modern weaving machines. These days, weaving are opting for machines in lieu of traditional techniques, as machines are less labor intensive and less time consuming, whereas traditional techniques requires long duration of time and hard work. The identity of community is defined by the distinct culture and tradition. The traditional attire of a community also serves as their identity, which makes them unique and different from other communities. So it is very essential that we understand the significance of our traditional attire and need to be preserved. It is indigenous culture is If the indigenous culture is not preserved, then the identity of Bodo community will be at stake. Although the Bodo community are still trying to keep their tradition intact by wearing traditional attire with various traditional agors, but there are some agors which were popular in the past, but they are disappearing in the present, as it is no longer weaved by the weavers. Therefore, in order to avoid such circumstances and problems, the revival of the various agors is very vital. So this is my source for my paper presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Florence. I think this is very interesting, even for Voodoo people. But maybe for enrichment, I'd like to hear that also next time that you look at it on an anthropological perspective, considering that it's very important to see maybe who's wearing, the idea of who's wearing. For instance, is there a cloth only worn during death ceremony, rituals? You don't need to answer that, but look at it on an anthropology. You deepen your discussion on that, but this is a good start. Congratulations. Now, for the last topic, I'd like to invite Justimila Kalita. Are you around? Yes. Okay. This is very interesting because you're looking at on the ACT's policy and lessons from Hallyu, because you don't say Hallyu way because it's redundant. Hallyu means Korean way. But this is a good topic. May I invite you to present about 7 minutes? Thank you.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Jyotismita Karila, and I'm going to present before you on the topic is Access Policy and Lessons Learned from Hallyu. So from the last 2 days, everybody has been talking about what is Access Policy and what are their policies and what kind of things that we can implement. But as Mahanta sir had already discussed in the last few minutes, that how we can learn things from a very developed country. So today I'm going to talk about the lessons that we can learn from a recent developed country like Korea and how we can implement in our own sectors also. So what is basically Hallyu? So Hallyu is nothing but a Korean phenomenon, and it refers to the involvement of global spread of Korean music, drama, food, fashion, etc. that have taken over the world in recent times, and how they are creating a massive wave among people all over the world. And what's so special about Hallyu, and like why am I talking about them, and who are those people who are like spreading or like behind this? So I'm going to show you some sets of people and some series and some extracts from a dance song. And why am I talking about them? Because these are the people who, in collaboration with the government, have been successful in creating this wave all over the world. So the first seven boys, I think we all know, sitting over here, they are none other than BTS, who have created waves recently. And the second is taken from a movie extract that is Squid Game, who was a winner of the Netflix series from almost 2 months. And the third was the implementation of the government. At the first of the implementation of the government, how they first took or they set it to the grounds, and it was none other than Gangnam Style, which was a decade ago, most probably. So now, what are these people, and like why am I showing these people? Because they are the reasons that have influenced so many things, like I've kept four sets of photos. So the first that I want to explain is our skincare routines. So recently, everybody has been obsessed, especially the people in the mid 30s or in the 20s. They have been very much obsessed with the skincare routines or the skincare regimes that we all have obtained. Like they want to have the glass skin Korean routine, and so the advanced form. And the second, we all know the food culture, how the Korean food culture has taken away our interest in other food culture. Like before, it used to be Italy. Italy was the said to be the favorite cuisine all over the world. But recently, in the financial year 2022, Korean cuisine has been voted the best cuisine all over the world. And the third, I'm talking about the fashion and the lifestyle that we have all equipped or like we have taken into effect these days, the baggy pants or the baggy sweatshirts or the t-shirts that we like the recent trend that it has been. And lastly, the most important is the culture and the tourism. So everyone wants to go to Korea, like, okay, I want to see how the country is, I want to take experience from it. So these are the factors that are the reasons like how they have affected our mindsets, and to see how they have affected the mindsets, I have prepared a secondary data from different kinds of like data. So the next slide, I want to show that how these things have affected our mindset. You can see how there has been a growth of Hallyu fans in the last decade. Like every year has been increasing from 2018 to 19, 20, and 21. There has been no signs of stopping. And who we are targeting? We are targeting the teenagers, like from 20s to 30s. So you can see the vast majority of teenagers from 20 to 30s are, severely affected with the K-pop, maybe the dramas or the films or any other things. Okay, so the basic question is, what are the marketing strategies and how they are being able to do it? So I've put forward two strategies that I have got from recent research. So some people have voted like, okay, so it's a cultural economic gain maybe, or maybe a foresighted economic strategy. So cultural economic gain is nothing but the economic gain that is concerned with the cultural activities of music, film, and fine art. And foresighted economic strategies having the ability to strategize every single points and have a collaborating effect with the government and make wise decisions so that everything can be laid in the future and implement in a very good way. So after a lot of research, or maybe from all the data is collected, we have the answer that it's a far-sighted economic strategy or foresighted economic strategy, you can say. So they have said that the people who have worked in these industries have said that the Korean government is very much collaborative and in exploring all the creative industries that come up to him, or he's very supportive in laying down all the strategies, discussing with them what we can do with the next decade or maybe 2 decades. And this is every people who work there or who have worked there, they say that this is what they are reaping, or the fruits they are getting today by gaining major exports all over the world, and being Korean cuisine the best cuisine. So I can also show you how the GDP has been increasing every single year. So you can see how the GDP has increasing every single year. Neglect the effects of 2019 and 2021. They might have been affected due to Corona, but you can see how they are expected to increase every 2 financial years. Like 2023, they have also taken into effect of 2025 and 2027. Also, there are some major exports that I would like to talk about. Is like the key beauty product market, which has been market size of 10.3 billion, and it will be in a market size of 20.8 billion. Now my question is how are they doing it, and don't we have all these raw materials that we are using in their beauty products in us, so that we can implement the same things in countries like us, and we can implement with the Asian countries? Yes, we do have. We have all the raw materials, but there is a supply problem. So the demand is more and the supply is less, so which creates a market failure. So lastly, I would like to talk about the lessons that we can execute, or we have learned from this people or the government or whatever they have implemented. So the 3 basic lessons that I want to talk about. First, the foresightedness. So as I've already mentioned, the Korean government is very much foresighted. They have used the soft power, and it is said that foresightedness is equally important for the success of any campaign, program, or engagement. Secondly, they talk about collaboration. So multi-sectoral collaboration is something very important. So close partnership with the government and various industries is very important. So we can implement that. They have used the policy, they have used corporate investment and vertical integration, so that they can remove barriers. Before, they used to have only films, everything running only their language. So by policies like corporate investment and vertical integration, they have started removing the barriers, and they have started creating contents in foreign languages, which was a groundbreaking effect for them. And in this way, they could compete the foreign companies and all the other media sectors too. Highly supportive towards creative industries. Yes, this is a very important point. You have to be very highly supportive towards the creative industries and providing stable financial footing. This is also a very important point. So the third point is cultural invasion. So it is said that we as communicators, we do not want to see change cultures. So the main aim of the government or all the people or the policymakers should be they need to have, their aim should be to have an impact on perceptions, reactions, actions, and behaviors. And they should engage in stakeholders to work with them for the goodness of the organization, and also always be open to learning from industries and other culture. That's all I have for today. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.
Thank you very much. I think there are 2 points also from coming this, because one is I have the impression that we're looking at the Act East policy. Therefore, I'm hoping that the discussion later will be on the influence also of the Hallyu in particular the Northeast region. That means how many are actually working, how many are actually patronizing this. Maybe some students. Also, I'm expecting that work on the movies or on the television series. Aside from cosmetics, it's actually in terms of the commercialization of popularization of Korean, of the Hallyu, is actually not only cosmetics but also in films and television. So I'd like to see that in your next presentation. But congratulations, thank you very much. I think this is now the end of our presentation. I hope that you really enjoyed the presentation, especially cultural aspects. So thank you very much. Let's conclude this and give ourselves a round of applause after surviving a few 4 hours of listening to this discussion. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'd like to ask actually very good doctor to give the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to extend my vote of thanks to Professor Jogi Chantarita, Professor of Asian Studies, Asian Center, University of Philippines. He is the chairman of today's session, so he carried the session very beautifully. I extend my hearty thanks to Sir. And moreover this, I want to extend my thanks in another reason also, that he come to our university and raised the our problem, that is called an international knowledge festival. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank Professor Ratul Mohanta, sir. He is the HOD of Guwahati University, and he has presented a lecture very beautifully, and he said about trade among India and Asian countries. And again, he said that comparative cost advantages can do a lot in case of producing electricity and transporting electricity among the countries. So his knowledge will help us near future to getting electricity from outside the countries. So thank you, sir. Now I would like to thank Mr. Professor Mohammad Abdul Wad, Department of Economics, Rajasthan University, Bangladesh. Your valuable speech will into Bangladesh trade will help us to like expand our relationship between Bangladesh and India, especially on trade, export and import. He says about a lot. So I want to extend my hearty thanks to Dr. Professor Wow, and your presence means a lot, sir. Thank you, sir, to come to our university. And I want to extend my thanks to the participants who have beautifully presented their paper. And because of you, our this seminar going to be a grand success. Moreover, last but not the least, I extend my heartiest thanks to all the participants who are present here. Because of you only, our program becomes so success, and we can proud that we can successfully conclude our session. So thank you all. Thank you very much.
Then side.
This is
Betul mo kan?
Bilan? Light. Light. My God. Light. Light kasi last. Light ka ba? Light mo.
Live there.
May berlas time. যিমান সেশন হৈছে সব একে মানে একে চেনেল
না না ইউটিউবত আছে সব হল বেলেগ বেলেগ হল 1 হল 2 হল 3 হল
মানে একটু চেনেলটো এটাই নাম্বারটো ডাবল 9 54 26 91 Zabram JAPRAN Secretary. RY. Subscriber aru lagi nih. Mau dia nggak no?
কি আছে বানান তো
J A E B R I.
BIKF হল 4 যত হল 1 মানে হল 1 কি হল
মানে day to আইব ন? Day to
আগৰ বিলাকো চাব পাৰিব তেওঁ বল ললো
Fine. Hah?
Okay.
এইটো একোৱে না এইটো পোস্ট আছে ৰে নাই 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 ঐ এইটো চা এইটো কেমেৰা
Amoris pa ba? Ote ko kayo kung pala sa'yo. Kimirat sa'yo ko. Kita lagal na ko ko. Lagal na mo muna sa'yo pa ko. Kinagal ko. Tuluro ka ko. Kimirat ko lang.
Thanks ba? Video itu deh foto no. Live dia sih gitu.
Hah? Oh, live हो dia.
Iya দেখা দিছো।
তুমি আইয়া।
লাইভ আছে ইউটিউব লাইভ।
ও চিত্তের মধ্যে আমি তো নতুন কি করেছিলাম
সব উঠে আছে।
হ্যাঁ ওকে নাই যে বন্ধ হয়েছে
এখানে বন্ধ করতে শুয়ে সবাই।
লাইভ চলে এসে নাকি? বাহ বাহ লাইভ চলে এসে ভাই
কোন মিটিং আছে তোর
কালার বার তো এসে আসুন